Hey, you want to hear my impression of a bird? Tweet, dang it! Tweet! And we are back with Dread Canaries against the Iron Storm. I'm Dread Canary, the game is against the storm, and we are playing on an Iron Man mode, whose rules I came up with, in which I play every difficulty of Against the Storm twice, and after playing it twice, we increase the difficulty and play 2 on that difficulty before increasing it again. And we want to see how far we can get while progressing our way up the tech tree, hopefully beating Prestige 20. I'll be honest, I don't expect to get there. You might notice that there's a lack of camera this time, and frankly that's because I'm just not feeling it today. So, no camera. We are instead going to dive right into the gameplay. It's not like my face adds much anyway. Now, that said, I was very excited about being able to play on the Cursed Royal Woodlands, because if you play on the Cursed Royal Woodlands on Viceroy or higher, you unlock 2 decorations, which make walls nice, and I really like walling off my cities instead of having to use fences or those comforting towers that my towns are clearly known for. But, yesterday, Hooded Horse and Aramite Games dropped an update to the Scarlet Orchard, so that now there is an archaeological theme. I've played it twice on a separate account that I use for just exploring new features, and I'll be honest, I lost one of them. So I am not highly confident this might in fact end the run, but I do think you deserve to see the new archaeological features, and I'm not going to film a separate series just for testing out new features, so we're doing it here. Furthermore, I'm going to compound the riskiness and play it next to the Fishmen Ritual Site, which will, if I win, give me artifacts, a resource needed for advancing up the tech tree in the smoldering city. But it does mean that there are no orders. No orders at all. So we have to get all of the points that we need for prestige strictly through reputation and crates and dangerous glade events with no order benefits whatsoever, which makes it even more risky. Is this madness? Yes. But let's do it anyway. In fact, let's call our settlement something fun, like archaeological madness. It doesn't quite fit, so let's misspell it and make it seem intentional. There we go, archaeological madness. Now, of course, I am still going to go into the town with as many villagers as I can, and that it just so happens that that means 9 beavers and 2 randoms. It is entirely coincidental that I'm getting my favorite race for this. And we have 4 points to work with. Of course, the herbalist camp is highly tempting, as is oil, as most of the initial dangerous glades can be solved with oil, but I'm not going to do that. No. Instead, I am going to take some coal. I'm going to take some coal, and we're going to take some broccoli. I know, it's vegetables, but it looks like broccoli, so that's what I'm going with. And let's try this. Is this going to end my run? I hope not. But the Scarlet Forest, the Scarlet Orchard changes are just so very pretty. So, of course, we will review our mysteries. Gentle Dawn. So, let's see. Gain 3 global resolve for 3 minutes every time we discover a glade. And discovering new glades increases the duration, not the amount of resolve. Okay, don't mind that. We got our usual debuff. Unearthly Element. Firekeeper's power weakens. The maximum amount of sacrifice stacks is lowered by 1. So we can sacrifice things twice instead of 3 times. That is new. I haven't seen that before. And it's active from Hostility 1, which we'll be in immediately. Rotten Rain, living matter will spawn on a farm field every 70 seconds. So honestly, this gets less difficult the more farm fields you have, but it's very rough in the beginning. Oh, this is actually what killed one of my 2 test runs, overheating. Machinery tends to overheat in this climate. You need 5 spark dew every storm, multiplied by the number of years. Otherwise, global production speed is reduced by 15%, and this stacks for every year in which you do not pay the Spark 2 tax. We are going to need to prioritize getting Spark 2 up immediately, or this will ruin us. The game I played this morning lost because I ended up getting 6 penalties because I wasn't paying attention. And when you're operating at negative 90% production speed, your economy's really kind of shot. Okay, and then Hunger Storm. So villagers don't have anything to eat. They will gain 2 stacks of hunger instead of the usual 1. That's honestly not that bad as long as I have food. Now, of course, we have Fishmen Ritual Site, which I signed up for, meaning there is going to be no orders. Royal Archaeologist is the new feature, that there's going to be an archaeology building, and we'll be showing you what that does as it happens. Ancient excavation sites can be found here. That's the other half of the archaeology. Because it's Prestige 1, we get 4 additional reputation points that we need to win. Because it's Prestige 2, we still have the cyst generation rate increasing and the speed at which the hearth gets corrupted. And then, now that we're adding Prestige 3, if we need to re-roll our blueprints, they will cost 10 amber more than they previously would have. So, that's that. Now, of course, as you can see, they've changed the trees. I can no longer make my crisp lines, but we do get these lovely silver and red leaves. It very much looks to me like kind of a formal Christmas decor. You know how with informal Christmases, you've got like the green with the silver and gold, but red and silver feel very Christmassy to me in the kind of formalized, kind of Dickensian style. No, I don't know why I make that connection. Also, we've got lovely little ferns poking out from beneath, so we get this nice thick base. And of course, we now have fertile ground in our opening area. We have some reeds over here, and we've got some eggs. So it's a very nice starting area. And I've taken to, on maps like this where I cannot draw crisp lines anyway, rather than outlining what I want to clear, I've started changing it so instead of cutting only marked trees, I'm saying we're going to cut whatever you want, just don't open any glades, and then I can mark the glades that I want to open when I am ready to open them. So, of course, we assign our beavers, turn off all of the other fuels, and pick our first cornerstone. Alright, so, cornerstones. Royal Storm, all trade routes are faster. That's very good. +1 to global resolve for every 2 caches opened is also pretty good, if I can get tools up and running. And 20 amber for every 100 ale produced is amazing, if I get the ability to produce ale. I don't love these, so what I'm going to instead do, since I don't have orders, I'm going to pause. We're going to take a look at our buildings. Okay, so the ability to make copper bars would then let us take a tools building and make that so much better. The ability to make bricks, of course, would let us make lizard-specific housing, which is very nice, and Forager's Camp is good. I feel like the smithy's not good until I know I've got a source of copper bars or crystallized dew, and I'm going to go with the smelter to start, because they did not change that in the Scarlet Orchard there is copper in the trees. So we've got a smelter. Okay. So the second thing I'm going to do is, we know we have farm fields already, and I feel like I would be remiss if I did not get something. Now, I don't love the plantation, but it's certainly better than the grove, especially when I know I'm going to be getting access to copper. Oh, don't do this to me, game. The guild house is amazing, but I have to get a carpenter. The reason I have to get a carpenter is 1, I'm going to need the planks, 2, I'm going to need the planks to make tools, and 3, I'm going to need to be able to make tools. Like, I just need to be able to make tools. I have to. Otherwise, this is going to go very poorly. So, as much as it offered me my favorite building, and I didn't take it. Oh, that hurts. But you do what you have to do to win. So, let's go ahead and go here. And now that I know what I have, we didn't get anything that would let us even start the chain for ale, so I'm going to ignore ale. And we did get the setup to make tools. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Prosperous Archaeology here. Which again, we get resolve when we open 2 caches. Quite nice. Let us go ahead and make our Harvester's Camp. And our Scavenger's Camp. And just because we probably will need it, we'll get a Stonecutter's Camp to make sure I get those parts locked down and assigned. Now, I did tell them, do not open glades. So we're going to get right up to the edge of glades, but we're not going to open them yet. Right now, I'm just trying to make space for future expansions. Let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to set up a smelter here. Yes. That should work. And a carpenter right along that. And of course, as always, feel free to give any questions or memes or suggestions that you feel like, chat. I am happy to respond. There's not very many of you in here, so that means I can give you personal attention. Can't get that from the bigger names. Their chat moves too fast for them to guarantee they'll see it. When I play on my own, I listen to other music because I hear this so often from stream that I don't really need to. And sometimes I listen to video essays on YouTube, which is strange because I don't like podcasts, but I'm not looking at the people who are giving their video essays most of the time. I'm just kind of glancing over whenever it's clear that they've thrown up a graphic or just to check in on their face if I'm not quite sure what the mood is that they're trying to convey. And yet, somehow, it still feels more real to me than a podcast. I don't understand my psychology. Oh, look at that! There's more fertile ground poking out among the trees. I love that you can do that, that you can sometimes get hints of what's in the next glade. I don't know if it's intended, but I love it. I'm glad it's part of the game. And of course, the first year, always very easy. You're just kind of making space, getting some initial resources, doing some city planning. Nothing too overt. We need 5 and 2. And I think this just needs, yes, bricks. And as you can see, it's the end of year 1, and we are already at 2 impatience. We have to find ways of getting the impatience down quick. Let's go ahead and go with some lizards here. And we're going to pop open a glade because we really have to start getting reputation up as soon as possible. I'm also going to throw 2 beavers in here. And let's put a harpy on that for now and get our second cornerstone. Okay, we can lower hostility when we sell goods. We can have resources I sacrifice burn faster in exchange for faster working speed. And we can have a global resolve for every 2 impatience points, which would make our people happier as the queen loses patience. I really like Rebellious Spirit, but I feel like with how long it takes to work glade events when I don't have much unlocked on the tech tree, I'm going to go with Firekeeper's Prayer. I don't know if it's right, but it's what I'm going with. And of course, we're going to tell them that they can open glades in this delightful little woodcutter's camp, so that they will cut down my marked trees. Okay, we're in. And it's very good that we saved that coal because it means that we can use it now on this. Now, I'm kind of playing ahead, because I know that keeping a chest of ancient tablets, it would be really good for me, given the way this is set up. But also I love stacking anti-hostility modifiers. You know what? Let's go ahead and do what I know is going to be better, and you'll see why I'm doing this later on. But for now, let's just go ahead and do it. Now, of course, harpies are unhappy, so we're going to have to watch that. Ooh, and this is wonderful. There's a weaver available that we can make with just planks. Love that. So we favor the harpies just long enough to get them back up to 4. And we're going to actually give it a little bit longer. We want to give it enough time that the other ones start ticking down. Get just under the circle. Flip back. Let them regain their happiness. And we're going to keep ping-ponging this a bit because we want to get as much time as possible. Even though I do have an accelerated speed from that one cornerstone, we still don't want to lose anybody because the queen is going to get more and more impatient. Okay. Lizards are unhappy. And we've got 1:10 left. So, obviously, let's go back to avoid opening glades. And let's fire these guys. We have lots of wood. We can afford to. What I don't have is a lot of space. I'm feeling very cramped right now. Okay. Now that should be enough to keep them, at least for now. And then it's going to go down 300% plus, well, no, not the additional 50. We went with the ancient tablets. That's right. Oh, no. Did we save it in time? I think we did. There we are. Okay. So now we're back down to hostility 0, which of course is not sustainable. We're going to have to drop these guys back in, but they should be a good deal. Yes. More willing to continue on. Now I'm going to turn off fabric. The only thing we want to make in here is bricks, which we can make out of anything. And I'm actually going to switch that to being a lizard just as soon as these guys finish delivering their goods to there. So let's go ahead and pop this guy out, pop that guy out. And what they're going to do is they are going to, well, at least one of them is going to go to the carpenter and start making planks. We're going to set a cap of 50 planks for now. We're also going to go ahead and preemptively set a cap of 50 simple tools, which will be out of planks, not wood, and out of copper bars is perfect. But he's not making any yet. We're just letting him make planks. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and adopt the meta. No, I think the only reason... Let's see what happens if I do this. Okay, they're still not unhappy. So that's something. Oh good, we found some copper. The stone cutter's camp doesn't do anything for me right now. Let's go ahead and slide it out of the way up here. Okay, that's done. And this is a harpy. And we're going to make this a pair of lizards. We're going to make this a lizard who's going to focus on making bricks. And we don't have enough planks to rebuild this yet, but we will soon, and that's going to be quite good. Now, of course, our people are unhappy, and we can't have that, because I don't want anyone leaving. So let's take it all the way down to hostility 1. That is empty, so we can kind of do this right here. That has 2 people. That's empty. We can't do anything over here. We don't have any planks yet. Let's go ahead and tell 3 beavers to rebuild this weaver just as soon as they can, which should be pretty soon. Especially if I stick a guy in just to deliver planks. Yes, because now we have enough. And we're going to go ahead and allow them to open glades once the storm ends. This is, of course, back to not opening glades. But we're going to put it over here to free up as much space as possible around this farmland that I will want to farm pretty soon. Actually, yeah. We should clear out a space to use this farmland that I've already prepped. You know, just in case I need it. Not that anyone's there yet. And there we go. We have a weaver. Excellent. Okay, so for our 3rd cornerstone, ooh, hostility going down when we upgrade neighborhoods. That's excellent. So is clay per minute, though. And I feel like with lizards, having access to bricks would let us make lizard housing pretty consistently. But having lowered hostility that we can control by making more hubs could be huge for our long-term happiness. So we're going to go with Safe Haven. And we will take the mixed bag that includes a harpy. And you're like, why would you take a harpy? Well, I don't normally like harpies, but they do like working in the weaver. So we can go ahead and put them in the weaver. And then that's going to get us the cloth that we need to make harpy housing, which I will put right up against this. We will run a road around the back. And we will re-beaver, of course, the beaver jobs. All the beaver jobs. There we go. We've opened up our 2nd glade. Now, this time we have some dead beavers, which, if I take for reputation and amber, is probably a good idea, but I love getting faster wood cutting production. So we're going to risk it and go for the dead beavers. Like so. Haunted Beaver House. Gives a lot of global resolve penalties. And it lets 6 beavers live in a beaver house. Okay. I don't think I need that. I'll have to deal with it eventually, but I don't think it's a priority just yet. More food. There is a lot of food in the Scarlet Orchard. Or, I should say a lot of farmland in the Scarlet Orchard. I'm kind of surprised by how much farmland there is, actually. I'm not used to seeing this much farmland. Regardless, we do have a number of buildings that we need to get out and going. Okay. If I favor the beavers, then everyone goes negative. So clearly, we need to also lower the hostility of the forest. Come on, there we go. And of course, lizards are going to be unhappy doing this, but should be okay. And as much as I love having more people, I don't think I've got enough jobs for them just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and turn in vegetables for Amber. Let's go ahead and do that. Investigate. And check our radius. So it goes to about there. Which, you know what? At that point, I am comfortable putting a trading post right on the edge of town here. Okay, now doing that will let me put a plantation, like so. And the reason I'm orienting it that way is because I noticed that I've got a nice 2x2 section here, which will be beaver houses. Or at least, it'll be some beaver houses. It'll be a couple of beaver houses, and maybe I'm feeling some coral growth. Seems nice. Old Farliff shows up. Hello, Farliff. Okay, so we already have a building that lets us do tools at 2 stars, and frankly, going from 2 to 3 stars is not worth it when I only get a couple of 1-star recipes. So, not going to buy this. The ability to make flour can be huge, but you need stuff to make into flour, so I'm not obsessed with the rain mill. I do like it. The +1 copper ore production is massive, and +3 beaver resolve I'm not too worried about. I think we'll find other ways to get beaver resolve. So ideally I want to get 26 amber, but I'd be fine with just 8. I don't mind selling dyes. I don't really mind selling copper at this point, or barrels, which I haven't yet figured out anything I need to do with, and maybe 147 wood, which is not nearly enough to get all of the amber that I want. So instead, let's do that. And if we're doing that, then first thing I'm going to do is take away the copper. And the second thing I'm going to do is take away wood. So that would be a pretty good trade. Now the follow-up, though, is I do want to be able to make lizard housing. And I don't really have a good source of bricks right now, so we're going to buy a bunch of bricks. And let's go ahead and actually put back in everything I was previously willing to sell. Maybe not that many bricks. Yes. There we go. Trade. Get +1 copper. And now when we get copper from the trees, we'll get +1. And if we build a copper mine, we'll get +1. And that is going to give us all the copper that we'll need to then smelt into copper bars. So overall, should be pretty good for our long-term economy. Follow-up, of course, is that we need to make this farm field right here. And I do need to turn off favoring the beavers long enough for the lizards to get happy again. And once they are, we are going to go straight back to favoring the beavers while we work this event. Well, people are pretty unhappy. Not quite sure why. Given that I am favoring them. I suppose we could take it down another notch, though I don't really want to take beavers off of wood cutting since I need the space. So instead, we will risk a little bit of a burn. There goes that, and then 10 seconds. That's our second one. Excellent. So now I should be able to unburninate, and people will go back to being moderately happy. Quite excellent. Okay. Of course, they're making cloth over here. And let's go ahead and put, since I don't have any humans who are the best farmers, make sure these are both fully staffed. Yep, see, that's why we're checking. Stick this here. Go back to avoid opening glades. And this is being collected. And pretty soon here we are going to have to get our full tool economy going, because the plan is to turn in caches for reputation. Which means let's throw a lizard in the smelter where they will have a lot of fun. They like being where it's warm, and it is definitely warm in the smelter. Let's only put one beaver on that. I don't have 2 beavers in here yet, but we will do that once we hit the storm. We do, however, need a little bit more in terms of housing, and a couple of other buildings too, now that I think about it. So let's go ahead and grab a blight post, which we will need very soon. And is this a 3x3? I don't think it is. So, yes. Okay. But let's go ahead and add the brand new building, the archaeologist's office. I think behind... Yes, okay. Yep. I know how I want to do this. Hey, there's eggs up here. I didn't notice those. So I should probably send some people up to collect them, yeah? Maybe at least a lizard, maybe a lizard and a beaver. And yes, we are going to move this stone. Doesn't have anywhere it can go, so we'll just stick it to the side. Here, looks nice. And add the new building, as I was saying earlier, the archaeologist's office right there. Set a cap of 20 bricks, I think. But we don't have anything we can turn into bricks, so I might as well get that guy out and replace that. Very nice. And then I'm going to move this over here. Okay, now Hostility 2 has the Spark Dew issue, which I did not cover. Dang. See, this is what I mean. Like, I'm going to take some penalties because I didn't pay attention fast enough. We need 2 beavers in here perpetually. And in fact... let's swap this out for a pair of beavers. Because we're going to put as many lizards as I can fit in the blight post. And we're going to have them, yes, out of wood should be fine. Set a cap of 20 for now. We're going to turn on the ability to burn coal, because I think I'm going to need to. Queen's getting real mad. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a nice... Let's take this. And the reason I'm taking this is because this is an alchemical building, and while I would love to have the beavers be happy, I'd rather have that sweet, sweet chance of an extra 10%, or a 10% chance for double yields, given how crucial it is that I always have Spark Dew to prevent my production speed from going through the floor. Yes, so this looks good. Wood production has increased, but harvesting and planting is slower. I like it. I love having that much extra wood, but I don't think I can justify it since I'm going to need to be harvesting and planting. Took some of the best, -5 penalty global resolve, but +15 for 5 minutes every time a new glade is discovered, stacked with the +3 if I open a glade during drizzle. Could be very nice for our resolve, but I don't like having a penalty, and I don't like being pushed into opening glades. I really like chances for double production, though, so I'm going to go with without restriction. Just because when that procs, like, it can proc on food, but more importantly, it can proc on tools. And tools are going to be the name of the game here. Let's put another harpy in here making fabric. We're going to have a lot of fabric. We're going to have some pretty happy harpies given their housing situation. Let's add another lizard in here making the flame. And that leaves me without anyone unemployed, which is a bit of a problem. Because I want to be making more housing. You know, I'm going to go ahead and take these lizards out, because we need to develop more of a wood stockpile. And by taking those lizards out, it's also going to let me make some more housing. So, let's go ahead and do that. Looks like we can fit a lizard house here and here quite nicely. And we can just put a nice, lovely little lamp. No, a lamp next to another lamp would look dumb. Let's put a bush. Just a little bush right there. And of course, I would be remiss to not put down a comforting tower somewhere in the vicinity. How far does this reach? Oh, we're right on the edge of it already. Okay. Well, if we're already on the edge of it, let's put a comforting tower right here next to the market. Then we'll leave a little bit of a gap. Toss a third lizard house right here. And put a second comforting tower in. Now I'm making, of course, these comforting towers using bricks, mostly that we bought from the trader. And the plantation is, of course, making so many berries. Berries as far as the eye can see. And between the plantation and all of the reeds that we've discovered, we will have so much cloth. Hello, Bliss. You know I've been playing a while because I recognize them by their image now. It's a bit of a thing. Okay, yes. So +1 plank production and +1 fabric production are amazing. I don't so much care about drying boards because I don't really notice that much how long resting is taking. And furniture is very nice. So ideally we want to end up with 33 amber. I have 15. Can I get 18? If I sell my spark dew, I only need 20. So I think I'm willing... You know what? I'm not going to risk it. I need 20. We're going to keep 20. I know I'll be producing more, but I'm going to keep 20 anyway. And I feel like I'm going to be able to make so much fabric that I'm not going to worry about fabric right now. And so much copper, I'm not going to worry about copper right now. I don't want to sell my ancient tablets. I have to sell my ancient tablets. I don't have to sell both, but I'm going to sell both. Okay, because I think I want more bricks. Trade. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Because that is going to increase the happiness of several of our people dramatically. Plus, it's going to make our plank and our fabric production just more efficient. So, see, now we're turning 2 into 3 fabric. We're going to have lots of fabric. Plus, of course, we've got the some chance to double production. We went up to a hub, or we took the hub up to encampment, which increases our happiness across the board, so that's going to help as well. And we certainly need more beaver housing. Hashtag housing for beavers, I know. So let's go ahead and make some hashtag housing for beavers. I'm thinking a little house right here, and a little house right here. And I'm thinking we will move this to the other side of the road, so I can make a little house right here. And this is just going to be a nice little kind of neighborhood-ish thing. Move this over this way. And road like so. And we will put in a lamp. A lamp at the corner. And let's see, we have 2 bush, 3 bush. Let's put a nice little coral growth in the corner there. Okay, everyone's resolve is low. I'm not willing to do a happy burn right now. So I think that just means fire some beavers, yo. One beaver doesn't quite do it. But that should. And what we're going to do is, of course, turn off this for both of our... Whoop! And let's go ahead and just whoop this. Whoop! And how are we doing on tools? We have 2 tools. Great! Excellent job, men. Wonderful work. Ah, yes, 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 yes. Can't forget the hearth is corrupted. I should be burning cysts. Just so that we don't lose a ton of villagers. 2 cysts. We're out of fuel, but that's okay because the storm's over. Okay, now as soon as we're back in it, we need to re-beaver our cutting locations. +1 lizard resolve when we make training gear. Free reeds and clay when we find glades, and fuel recipes are faster. Well, I'm not making fuel. And training gear, well, good for both lizards and harpies. I guess I do have a weaver that can make it, so that would be good long term, but the exploration contract is going to get me the ability to make bricks consistently, so I can stop buying bricks. So that's what we're going to go with. Get ourselves this nice balanced pack here, because we're going to keep that. Add a second beaver on the planking. Let's swap scavengers over to lizards. We're at a meat building. Lizards would get a bonus. They don't get a bonus on scavenging, but it just helps me to keep them straight by thinking of them as scavengers who will work well in that environment. We have... Okay. Well, there's another weaver. Ooh, a workshop. That's tempting, but mostly it's just a way to get bricks. We're going to go with the open vault, of course, because we can work that immediately, though it does give us a huge penalty to resolve, and the Queen's Impatience moves faster, so we are 100% sending it to the Citadel. Go ahead and investigate. Could be a problem. Meanwhile, I'm debating whether I want to salvage this weaver. I think I do want to salvage this weaver because I've already rebuilt one, and as convenient as it would be to have this area be developed, I don't think it's worth having a second weaver. So we are going to go ahead and scavenge that. But first, let's think about what's going on here. You're about to go to level 2 as soon as we finish a decoration. And We've got 16 out of the 14 people needed for the current level, and the next level needs 20. So I should add 2 more houses somewhere, and I feel like this seems like a good location for some additional housing. So this is where we will put it. We will then take a plantation and drop it like so, so it can encompass the entirety of this patch right here. Just up and around, all the way up, all the way around. Yes. Food. Boom. Okay. We have many, many things to build. Yes, and of course we already had some housing queued up, which will get us to that wonderful 20, though of course I prefer 24 in case anyone leaves. Not that anyone will, but if they did, rather than miss out on my bonuses... Is that... No, that's a stone deposit. Okay. Well, I mean, a stone deposit's still very nice. A stone deposit will let me make stone bricks. Yes, it would also let me make stone roads, but there's copper deposits around that I'm hoping to eventually turn into copper roads once we get everything else squared away. As it is certainly not squared away yet. Queen is very unhappy. Okay, do not open glades anymore, but certainly cut trees. And where to cut them? Thinking we will cut them here. And you don't open glades anymore, but you will also cut trees, and you will cut them up here. Meanwhile, we're going to add a wall of lizard posts, and behind them I think a little fence. Sounds nice. Oh, that's a lot to be committing to fuel, but at the same time... no, I should keep it at 20. I shouldn't raise it that high. We definitely have to keep the fire burning no matter what else happens. As for building materials, we have a lot of cloth. Next trader comes in 2 minutes, and we really have to start working on reputation immediately, because we are in trouble. We're in so much trouble. Okay, so we really don't have food either. I think I need to make another woodcutter's camp, because the amount of fuel we currently have is not cutting it. Let's go ahead and have 2 harpies come over here and turn them into amber. How's this looking? It's looking okay, but we definitely need some kind of service building. Hi, Sahilda. Ah, yes, okay, so you would also sell me furniture, which I think I need, but wood cutting speed is great. Coats is fine. Getting free plant fiber when we produce vegetables is worthless, because I've got plantations where I can just grow plant fiber. So, first things first, we need tools to open crates, and our production is currently slow. Secondly, I want 17. Okay, so we need 27. I have 15. We need 12 more amber for the perks that I want to buy. And I'm willing to sell you so much cloth to get it. Just like you don't even know how much cloth you can have. Okay, you can have all of my cloth. And that is a great trade. We're going to also sell you some bricks. Or maybe not bricks, but at least brick components. Boom, boom. Excellent. Okay. Now to rebuild this, we only need wood. Oh, that's phenomenal. Okay. That's really good. We are going to just delete this building entirely. We do not need it. We do, however, need harpy housing. Wait a second. Can I leave these guys in here? Storm hits? No. No, we can't. Can't afford to do that. Okay. But we can lower hostility quite a bit, and then if I build some harpy housing... So first off, moving that costs wood. That's not worthwhile, so we're not going to do it. But we are going to... Well, if this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's going to almost cover all of those. Let's go ahead and take out 3 of them. So that now, it'll get us to 12. And I can justify making another comforting wall corner here. And we need 3 more aesthetics. Just 3. So I'm feeling a bush at the edge of that. And then some more bushes here. And I think that will be very nice. Let's also delete this and replace it with a fence corner. So that'll look very nice once it's all completed. Do I have anyone wood cutting? I do, yes. Wonderful. Oh, yes, we have tons of tools. And it doesn't really matter because if I don't start turning things in, we are going to lose this map. So I have to turn it in, obviously. And in fact, need to really find a way to boost our happiness very soon. Yes, living matter spawned on a farm field. So, let's go work that. And tell them that they can make tools out of whichever of these they feel they like. That way we can get a lot of tools. Wonderful. Okay. All buildings cost less? No. All houses have room for more villagers? No. Global production is faster, but trading's unavailable? Heck no, we're re-rolling. 10 more charges? Okay. 1 reputation time. Every time you sell goods worth 60 amber, while slowing reputation gain from happiness. Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Because I think that if we sell stuff, we will be able to get a lot of resolve. That said... I need 3 more beavers from somewhere. I've got them working in abandoned cache. Well, let's hope we get some in this pack. We did get some in this pack. So this, we're going to swap out for a pair of lizards. So that we can make this beavers. That's all set. Up here... I'm going to go ahead and let that be both berries and plant fiber to make sure we are fully powering our fabric building. You're not going to abandon glades, you're just going to cut marked trees. So that's going to get us in there. And we have a point for turning in that glade. So, okay, herb garden is... Very good. So's the cellar, actually, if I get a place to serve wine. But I think the herb garden's what I'm going to go with. And in fact, because the herb garden's what I'm going to go with, we're going to delete this plantation. And we're going to put an herb garden in instead. I've got a lot of reeds, so I'm not too worried about getting fabric. And we've already got a full plantation working on berries. And this way, we can get some roots and herbs going, too. I'm leaving 2 lizards out to try to get whatever we would need from... Okay, is that done? Yes, they're delivering that. That's excellent. We're leaving 2 lizards out to deal with whatever is in here. Okay, we found a Fishman Cave. And Fishman Cave can be worked with tools. And of course we're going to do it like this. I would love to get this for reasons, but I can't, so we're getting that. And it's going to spawn Fishman Totem, which is going to mess with... I believe it's Hostility of the Forest. Kiln is very nice. We're getting good resources. It's just a question of figuring out how to get reputation when we don't have orders. Yes, I told them to only cut marked trees. We are low on fuel. Probably because we are burning it to make copper bars. So we're going to stop our production of copper bars for now. That seems overly dangerous. We have unhappy harpies. And we do need to be working these Fishman Totem because they are increasing the hostility by a lot. Fortunately, we should be able to work this rather quickly. Why is everyone unhappy? They're hungry. Well, that makes sense. He's going to have perks. He's not going to have food. Getting living matter every... Wait, what are you doing? You're out of trees within range? Okay. Go chop over here. Let's unfavor... Oh, geez. Lizards are deeply unhappy. We're just kind of juggling happiness here. It's a whole mess. This is a whole mess. I don't know why I did this. I thought it would make good content, and it's kicking me in the face. Okay. Well, let's see. We've already got access to tools and training gear, though at only 1 star. So the tinker is kind of out. The tool shop's also similarly out. The druid's hut, being able to make oil, not that useful. And the butcher is great if we get access to meat. So let's go with the butcher. Ooh. I feel like a provisioner is the right choice there. Let's go ahead and drop a provisioner. Right. You know, I feel like this seems decent. And what was the other thing that we got? It was I believe it was a food building. No. Did I not get another building? I could have sworn I got another building. Did I accidentally reroll when I went to pick something? I may have accidentally hit reroll. Huh. Not sure what it did. But regardless, the harpies are about to leave, and that's not acceptable. Can you finish working, please? Thank you. Okay, and that's getting turned in just as soon as possible. We will need another hub, and I don't really have a good place for it. Like, I would love to put it right here, but I've got a thing in the way, so let's get rid of the thing. And actually, you know what? I think tools is the better deal here because of how much wood we are going through. You know what? No, let's use planks. I shouldn't waste tools. We're going to go ahead and tear that down for parts. Will you tier 3? No, because we need a service building. Right. That's what we're stuck on. Meanwhile, these guys are getting reeds. Making all the cloth that we might need. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And we have how much? Oh, yes, lovely. We are definitely going to be able to pay the Spark 2 tax. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, so let's go ahead and fire, I think, our woodcutters for the storm. And let's pick up these stone roads. We're just going to pick them right up. I don't think I like where they're at. We do also want to rebuild this, which I never got around to doing. And the workshop is an interesting building because what it does is it's 2-star for all 3 building materials. You unlock it a little bit higher up the tech tree than I currently am. It's a great building because it just lets you knock out building materials. It does nothing but building materials, but it does building materials pretty well across the board. Well, I don't think there's any saving this storm, so I guess we're just gonna have people chop wood during the storm. And I guess that means we have to burn some wood to lower the hostility. But I'm capped at 2, which isn't nearly enough, so I guess we're going to take it completely on the chin and just let people leave. Very much not happy about it, but what can you do against such reckless hate? Living matter spawned on a farm field, which is not great. It's consuming our food so long as we're working it, but if I don't work it, it's just going to make our people unhappy. So, we lost 1. Lost 2, and the Queen's getting impatient with every person who leaves. Every open cache lowers hostility. Let's go ahead and do that. hiveless. Okay. Opening chests faster is nice. Let's go ahead and just get bonus everything. And since we get resolve based on how much we sell, I am going to sell as much as I can. For the most useful items that I can. You know what? Let's not even sell planks right now. Like, let's sell 7, because I think I kept my cap at 50. I need to keep this. I need to keep that. I think I need to keep all of this. But these are the things that I'm able to sell. And of the things that they have, first off, let's buy amber. There's a kind of a trick to when you buy amber that lets us kind of game things a little bit. And we're going to buy bricks. Oof. I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to turn around and sell my amber for, you know, more stuff. So let's buy some sea marrow, I guess. No, let's get some of this first. Then sea marrow. And that gets us pretty close to the cap. So we are going to buy, I guess, a couple of coats. Give the beavers a little coat benefit. That works. So now, we still only have 1. Dang. But we're most of the way to number 2. That's okay. People are going to get a lot happier. We have people working a glade. Get some more beavers up in here. Get a second beaver working this. Actually, no, we're going to make this harpies. Harpies now cover our farming. Wonderful. Okay. So we've got all that employment. The queen's pretty annoyed. How can I get to a glade? There aren't really any conveniently located big glades, and small glades are rarely worth it. For our next building, though, we've got a kiln that we can rebuild, we've got a weaver that we have rebuilt, and we don't really need a lumber mill, so this is basically a grove, but I don't really want a grove, so let's go ahead and take the kiln. And my thinking here is that if I take, first off, can I delete you? What happens if I delete you? I get 4 of everything. What's the kiln cost to make? Kiln costs 4 bricks, and I have loads of bricks now. So if I make a kiln here, it's only a 1-star brick, which is not as good as a 2-star brick, but I don't need the other 2/3 of this building, so I'm just going to do that so I can get the building materials. Seems nice. I'm going to delete all this. I could always remake the stone roads if I need to. We've got a kiln up here that we can salvage now. There we go. And I should have made enough space that I can drop another... really? Okay. We'll do it, yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this out of the way just a little bit. Just scooch it right on over. And we are going to make ourselves a nice small hearth right here, which is a bit awkwardly placed, but you know, sometimes that happens. Sometimes you just get some awkwardly placed buildings, and that's how that goes. And we want a storage building, a warehouse. They've changed the name to warehouse. It used to be storage, but now it's warehouse, and so we're just going to put it right there. We definitely need some harpy houses, so let's do that. And actually, I'm just going to mirror this. On the other side completely. And then we will put in harpy house, harpy house. And you know what? Another set of harpy houses. That'll cover all of our harpies and maybe some additional harpies that we will get in the future. And we will drop a bush right there. Okay, so that's a lot of buildings queued up. We've got some decent fuel going. Just do this. And since we get happiness from selling, we are going to make packs of provisions out of herbs. Now, I'm only going to put one person in there doing that for now. For one thing, I don't have a lot of slack. Yes, they're almost done. Oh, are they done? They are done. Okay. And we will set a cap of 50 bricks. We will say we only want to do that with coal. Bricks can be out of, yes, either of these two things, though ideally clay first and then stone, because we can use stone for roads. And we're going to set a cap of 500 coal. And we're going to say both of these should be higher priority than jerky. And we're going to put 3 lizards in here. Now what this is going to let us do is it's going to let us go off of wood entirely and just use coal, because we'll be able to produce coal. And that is a very nice efficiency boost to our fuel. Plus, it'll make burning to reduce the hostility of the forest a lot more viable, because we'll be able to reduce it by both coal and wood burning, each of which can be done twice. So, very nice. Okay, we can certainly rebuild this. They'd be happy if we can get them to 15. But of course, keeping them above 0 is a bit of a trick, isn't it? Oh my word. Food goes here. Let's favor them. When is our next 5 minutes? And he's coming with crafting items, blueprints, luxury items, and perks. Ugh. We are having so many food issues. Like, I'm doing what I can, but damn, we're having food issues. Okay. Let's start not making that out of wood. Okay, storm's pretty bad. But at least now, I think what I can do is we can push these guys up here, up against the tree line. And we really need to get into that glade next year. So we're just going to do that. And where's our other one? This one. Gonna fire all these beavers. And that'll help. Put this on the Sea Marrow standard and burn one of each. And that should be enough for me to ping-pong people to happiness through the rest of at least this storm. Now, of course, we have to deal with the fact that the Queen is massively impatient. But we're at least going to get through this storm. And that's very nice. And that's actually going to be the end of the video. So as soon as we get through this storm, I'll sign off. Momentarily. Chat knows what's up. We will, of course, have to lower the hostility of the forest a little bit more. Oh no, I lost a woodcutter. That's terrible. Alright, well, if you are watching on YouTube, this is going to require you to come to the next episode to see if I'm able to pull this out. It is not looking good. I've got a solid economic base under me, but my word, are we in trouble. Let's go ahead and just wang this out real quick. Yeah, so we are in trouble. And chat, you are not chat. Chat can just stick around. YouTube, you're going to have to check in to see if I am able to pull this out or not. We've got a very impatient queen. We've got very little progress. We do have a decent economy under us, though food problems and unhappiness continue to plague us. Meanwhile, if you've sat through this entire video, then I would hope that you'd give it a like button, maybe hit that subscribe button, maybe give me a smiley face in the comments. I would love to see that, just to know you're there and boost the algorithm a little bit. I very much appreciate all the time you are spending with me. I hope you have yourselves a great day, and I'd really like to see you in the next one.